Something huge just happened in the Bugatti rebuild story. And if you've been following this project closely, you already know this isn't just another rebuild video. This is Mat Armstrong trying to prove Bugatti wrong. Yes, Bugatti themselves made it clear that a rebuild like this shouldn't be done outside their factory. According to them, the process is too complex, too delicate, and too risky for anyone outside their official technicians to attempt. They refused to sell parts, they warned about safety, and they made it very clear that rebuilding a Bugatti Chiron outside the factory environment was basically impossible. But Mat Armstrong didn't see it that way. Instead, he decided to take on one of the most insane automotive rebuilds ever attempted on YouTube. Because this isn't just any damaged supercar. This is a Bugatti Chiron that was literally split in half. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Because what happens next is honestly incredible. And now, after months of work, parts hunting, fabrication, engineering, and problem solving, we are finally reaching the moment where everything either comes together or completely falls apart. Because in this stage of the rebuild, Mat is about to do something that even Bugatti believed shouldn't happen outside their factory. He's about to put the entire car back together. But before we get to that massive moment, there's a problem that almost stopped the entire rebuild before it even got there. And it starts with something most people watching probably didn't even notice: the engine mounting bracket. Now this might sound like a small part in such a huge machine, but in reality, this piece is responsible for holding the entire W16 engine and gearbox securely inside the car. Without it, nothing works. The original bracket was completely destroyed in the crash, which means Mat had two options. The first option sounded simple on paper. They could 3D scan the broken mount and machine a brand new one using CNC equipment. That sounds like the perfect solution, right? Except there was a serious problem with that plan. The Bugatti Chiron has crank position sensors built directly into that mount, and those sensors need to be positioned with extreme precision. If the placement is even slightly off, the engine could start misfiring, run poorly, refuse to start, or even cause internal damage when the engine is under boost. In other words, a tiny error could completely destroy the entire rebuild. So that option suddenly became very risky. The second option was even more uncertain: repair the original mount. But there was another issue. Nobody even knew if the metal could actually be welded. If the alloy contained too much magnesium, welding it would be impossible. And if welding failed, the mount would remain unusable. So Mat took the damaged mount to a specialist machinist named Bob. And this moment honestly felt like one of the most intense turning points in the entire rebuild. Because if Bob couldn't repair that mount, the rebuild would suddenly become far more complicated. Bob begins by carefully cleaning the damaged section of the mount, preparing the aluminum for welding. Then comes the big test. Can it actually be welded? And thankfully, the answer was yes. The aluminum accepted the weld perfectly. In fact, according to Bob, the repaired section might actually end up stronger than the original Bugatti casting. But they didn't stop there. To make the repair even stronger, they added extra reinforcement ribs into the casting design, which means, ironically, Mat's repaired engine mount might now be more durable than the original Bugatti part. But this is where the pressure really starts, because once this mount goes back into the car, the entire W16 engine will be sitting on it. If that repair fails, the engine could literally drop inside the chassis. So the team carefully installs the mount back into position. Bolts are tightened. Everything is aligned. Then comes the real moment of truth. They slowly lower the massive Bugatti engine onto the repaired mount. Now the entire weight of the engine is resting on that weld, and everyone watching is waiting to see if something moves, cracks, or fails. But nothing happens. No shifting, no cracking, no problems. The repair holds perfectly, which means one of the biggest obstacles in the rebuild has just been cleared. But that's only the beginning, because the next step is just as complicated: reconnecting the gearbox to the engine. This process is unbelievably complex. There are oil lines running everywhere, electrical connectors, sensors, and gear control systems. And the scary part? They have no official instructions from Bugatti. Everything they're doing is based on careful observation, logic, and experience. At one point, Mat even admits something that probably made every viewer nervous. He says they honestly don't even know if the car will start once everything is connected. But then something unexpected happens during the process that surprises everyone. While installing the starter motor, Matt notices something unbelievable. The Bugatti Chiron actually uses a Volkswagen 1.9 TDI starter motor. Yes, the same starter motor used in a regular diesel Volkswagen. That means the same component designed to start a 150 horsepower diesel car is also responsible for starting a 1500 horsepower Bugatti Hypercar, which really shows just how powerful that little starter motor must be. After that discovery, the next challenge appears: refilling the gearbox with oil. And this part is risky because they don't know the exact oil specification, they don't know the exact quantity required, and they don't even know the precise filling procedure. So what do? They filter the original oil that came out of the gearbox and pour it back in. It's basically the only option they have. And once again, it's another moment that proves something important. This entire rebuild is happening without factory support, exactly the kind of situation Bugatti said would never work. But then, the biggest moment of the entire rebuild arrives, reconnecting the front half of the car with the rear half. Remember, this Bugatti Chiron was literally split in two during the crash. Bugatti themselves claimed that this process requires highly specialized equipment and factory tools. Matt's setup: a few jacks, some carefully placed supports, and a lot of patience. Slowly and carefully, the two halves of the car are brought together millimeter by millimeter until finally, they line up perfectly. For the first time since the crash, the Bugatti Chiron is officially one complete car again. But just when things start looking perfect, disaster nearly strikes. While tightening the titanium bolts that hold the two halves together, one of them snaps. And this isn't just any bolt. It snaps inside the carbon tub of the car. For a moment, it looks like they might have to separate the entire car again just to fix it, which would be a nightmare. But after a tense few minutes, Matt manages to carefully extract the broken bolt, and somehow he finds a replacement titanium bolt online for just $11, which might honestly be one of the cheapest Bugatti repairs in history. With that problem solved, the next major upgrade begins: a custom Valvetronic exhaust system designed specifically for this rebuilt Chiron. And the setup looks incredible: a massive X-pipe, multiple exits, and huge airflow capacity. But there's something interesting about Bugattis. Despite having 1500 horsepower, they're not actually known for sounding amazing. And the reason is simple. The W16 engine uses 4 turbochargers, which tend to mute the engine sound. So Matt decides to take things even further. He removes the secondary catalytic converters, making the exhaust system much freer flowing, almost like a straight pipe. Now everyone is wondering the same thing. Will the Chiron finally sound like a proper hypercar? Then, the moment everyone has been waiting for finally arrives. The entire car is assembled, the engine is installed, the gearbox is connected, all electronics are plugged in, and the battery is connected. Everything leads to this one moment: the first start. Matt presses the start button, and unbelievably the engine starts immediately. First try. After everything this car has gone through, the W16 engine fires to life. It's an incredible moment, but just seconds later, another issue appears. A fuel line pops off and begins leaking fuel. Thankfully, they shut things down quickly and fix it. Then they try something even more important. They put the car into gear, and it works. The gearbox engages, which means the drivetrain is functioning. The rebuild is actually working. But here's the funny part. After all the work done to the exhaust system, the Bugatti still sounds almost the same, just a bit louder. Not a screaming V12, not an aggressive supercar roar, just a deeper version of the original sound. That's simply the nature of the quad-turbo W16 engine. But now the real test is still ahead. Because earlier in the story, before the rebuild even began, Alex drove this car without coolant, and that could have caused hidden damage. The water pump seals might be compromised, turbo seals could be affected, and cooling system components could fail once temperatures rise. So the real test is still coming. When coolant is added and the engine runs at full operating temperature, that's the moment we'll finally know if this Bugatti rebuild is truly successful. Or if another massive problem is waiting just around the corner. And if you want to see how this insane rebuild finally ends, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next part of the story.